Hey, dog. Shout out to Pimp C, dog.
Hey, the Pimp C need his flowers, bro.
Was he not giving the game up like a motherfucker, dog? And in the light of
always though,
and in the light of like the current state of the culture when it comes to hip hop right now, it's insane, bro. Because that first verse right there, bro, just cemented like what he said. He was talking about bringing all these different rappers together. T.I.P., Lil Flip beefing at the time. You know what I'm saying? He came right up out of prison like, man, let's get up off that. These crackers is laughing at us while we out here acting a fool with each other and shooting and killing each other. Shout out to Quando Rondo and thoughts and prayers to his family because he lost somebody in his entourage in the shooting in L.A. lately. You know what I'm saying? But it just makes me think of like, you know, the current situation of the game right now.
Mm-hmm. It's like shit. It's like every couple of weeks or something, one of these rappers getting shot or killed or something like that.
Yeah, every week, man.
Who was it? Well, who was that said rap the most dangerous career? So it was like Fab or something. I can't remember who that was.
I'm not familiar with you.
One of the rappers said rap is the most dangerous occupation out here. It might have been Jim Jones. Somebody.
Yeah, but I'm about to take us back to Houston right quick, bro. I just had to let Charlie Boy hit that note right quick before I cut it off. Oh God. He was going crazy, dog. That's like a classic Houston song.
Hey, right Pierre Shabba tweet.
Pierre Shabba tweet. I hate you, dog. But I mentioned Quando Rondo and the shooting that happened in L.A. a little bit while I was playing the vibes, man. Like I said, rest in peace to his family and his loss or whatever. Like. The reason I brought this up because they showed the graphic like aftermath of the shooting right on Instagram, and man, like when he saw his homeboy, he let out like this like blood curdling scream. Have y'all seen that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, but I was just shocked at like some of the well, I don't know why because it shouldn't have shocked me at all because it's the state of the culture that we in, but how insensitive people are, and everybody was saying how Young Durk was going to use that as a drop in a song. And I was just like, man, that shit foul, fam. Like, I can't believe that we just that desensitized as a culture. And I just wanted to know if y'all had anything to offer insight or how y'all felt about it. Like,
well, I think it's, I just think again, like kind of what we've talked about this before on other episodes, like just the worship of like some of the people that you really like. It forces you to like pick sides. And I just think that's insane because like, you should have some level of like, damn, that's still messed up that this guy got shot and he feels, a certain way about this man. Yes, we know, that we've heard the story about the situation with terrible. What's the man's name? The young brother.
You talking about Lil Durk or
not the one that got murdered?
King Von.
King Von. Because of your allegiance or whatever to him, I get it, but it's like I said, it should just more so be about what this young man lost. We should have some level of like care behind that because again, people losing their lives over some stupid shit. I'm pretty sure I didn't really look into the entirety of the situation, but it's just, we shouldn't get to that point really. I mean, we should be at the point now where life is very precious. We're starting to see this. You saw this with the COVID pandemic. People lost, especially Black people. Mm-hmm. We lost a lot of people for something that we didn't think was going to happen, and lost a lot of that, so there should be some level of empathy behind that, as we go forward, because, losing life period is, especially too soon, is always devastating. Parents should never have to bury their kids. That should be the other way around. So, shouts out to him and his family, and hopefully they can overcome it, especially if you're doing blood curdling screams. Clearly he was affected by that. And, young men tend to don't try to show their emotions, but when they lose somebody that they really care about, especially some of their homies, because sometimes men, we struggle with emotions in certain ways, but, hopefully that young brother can cope, and hopefully he gets some therapy or something someone he could talk to as he goes through his grieving period.
Yeah, because
when you don't grieve, it's an issue.
I just think the internet lack empathy, man, and it's just getting worse. Like, don't nobody care about that shit, man. Like, and then they, with the whole situation going on with that stuff, people almost acting like it was deserved. You know, when don't nobody really deserve that shit.
Yeah, facts. Not at all.
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. I just hope it don't start like a war because I know when King Von died,
it's already been like
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah.
but the thing, I think the thing about like Quando Rondo and like all of them guys, like they almost looked at it. They got clout off of it. They was like, you know, making jokes over. Like they could have did that shit, but it don't seem like they carried it on more. It seemed like, and then the fans and the internet, they don't help it. They fan the flame. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say because Quando Rondo,
young dudes, man.
Yeah, when King Von died, though, his camp himself, they was making fun of it. It was crazy, bro. Like, and it, like I said, man, I just hope that don't, you know, and they got their lives ahead of them. They young man. You know what I mean? They get into the money, get into the bag, bro. And that's really what it's about.
Y'all,
you don't need all this.
Rich. Y'all quit doing that dumb shit.
Yeah,
right. Absolutely.
And that's the part that's lost on a lot of people is that these are kids, man. These are very young men that we talking about. Like, how old was King Von when he passed or when he got murdered?
No more than 27.
Not even that old. That's what I'm saying. These are young men, and I think that's lost on a lot of people. But man, yeah, man. Dang, what's I about to say? Scribe.
He was 26.
Yeah, 26. That's what I'm saying. So, but like I said, man, rest peace, King Von. Rest peace to Quando. I mean, not Quando Rondo, but his alleged associate. Yeah, man. And thoughts and prayers to the whole situation, man, because this is just sick. But I just want the internet to start having a little bit more empathy and stop reacting to stuff the way they do.
That ain't never gonna change, bro.
Right. You might be right.
Well, you know, at least again, like most of those people that are probably commenting are people that haven't really lost anybody significant in their lives.
Right, for sure. So if it was
easy to comment,
like somebody they was close to,
right,
they wouldn't feel that way. But
right, I've never, you know, I was around certain people that were in different situations in their lives, and you know, quote thug niggas or whatever you want to call these things or just define it, but I just look at them as regular people as well that just went through some different type of struggles. But like I wasn't a part of that shit. I was always type of nigga like, hey bro, drop me off. Like, I'm not going. Right. I'll go knock some trash cans down, but I ain't getting into that. But I was never sensitive to or never to the point where I didn't try to understand or feel how they felt. You know, I always tried to empathize when it came to things like that. And I think a lot of times people just if it doesn't affect them, it doesn't bother them, they don't care, you know. So that's why they have this mentality of it's entertainment to them. It's like WWE.
I was just about to say it's like watching a reality show.
Or you know, like how we coming up, we watching wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like we knew that shit was fake, but in the back of our head, we like, hey, this shit real. Everybody else. Exactly. Yeah. You know, so. Yeah. So it's just, I think it's a line of entertainment now because it's over the social media networks and things like that because it's talked about. I'm not saying it's social media's fault, but I'm just saying in terms of the way that we're processing information.
It's entertainment, and then the major players, like the people that's actually involved, they look at it like that too because it's making them money at the same time or getting them attention at the same time.
And the attention, facts.
So that just make it worse.
Yeah. It was just like back in the day where if you went to jail, your shit would skyrocket. You know what I'm saying? Like if you came out, you came out.
Like if you got killed and he getting acknowledged as one of the greats.
Or that.
Before, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
yeah.
It's just a bit, like I said, very unfortunate situation.
And it ain't even just this situation though. That's the internet in general. Like anytime some fuck shit happen, the internet always carry it on. We terrible, dog.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely horrible.
Definitely a bad.
Worst place on earth, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Well, like I said, we America. Like I said, as much as we like to emphasize and put focus on the negative side of these things, like I said, we also got to focus on the light as well because we also know like we talked about this before in the past. Like the internet has also been a huge reason why certain demographic shifts are starting to happen in this country as far as like
for sure
racial stuff. So we got to look at the light side of stuff too. It is a terrible place in the realm of like groupthink and how it forms people to have a certain opinion about stuff. And like I said, and people have a place like they just lost souls on the internet having a place to come over here and be like and comment on shit. And I try not to pay attention to a lot of the negative stuff and just keep doing the work. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we do need to acknowledge it though.
But to your point, the internet is not the majority. The majority of people are not online like that. But there's a subset of the majority of the tweets and the things that you see are the same people that continue to tweet. So it's not like it's
they
a
trolls,
influx of more of that, right?
Or it's
They're the ones
motherfuckers
that
who
push
ain't got
that narrative.
who just creating a profile to say crazy shit like that.
Right. Like if you go to Twitter, for example, and you go into the trending section, it's not millions upon millions of people. It's a subset of 30,000, 40,000, 50, and up. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's just millions of people feeling the same way, So, like you said, you take certain things with a grain of salt. The internet is not necessarily the end all be all, but it does help you get an understanding of kind of some of the conversation that's going around different topics. And that's what, that's based on from a social media perspective.
Also, man, I like I said, but like I said, at the end of the day, thoughts and prayers out to the whole situation. Like I said, all you young drill rappers out there, everybody involved in this situation, man, just thoughts and prayers, and hopefully, literally, I don't know what it's gonna take, because I heard a lot of these young cats ain't listening to OGs no more, or whatever the case may be. But I just hope we can get to a level of healing at some point. You know what I'm saying? Where the powers that be can stop profiting off of Black Death. You know what I'm saying? Because that's basically what's happening. And they've seen that, like to Blaze's point earlier, it's just been continued to happen. It's been throughout the history of hip hop since it's a very young culture, but it's been continuing to happen. So hopefully we can get to a point of healing that sometime, and people realize that this ain't the way to do this shit. Because all the older cats is just like they living their life. 50, Diddy, you know what I'm saying? They living their life, but everybody else who done passed, they ain't even really thinking about them no more.
But I think that generation kind of understood, like, once they lost like a Biggie, Pac, Big L to murder, stuff like that, I think people started to see like, man, this shit ain't it. Especially like even 50 Cent. He was, when he came on the scene, it was a great time. but he even changed, his demeanor. So I just think the younger generation, because of the increase of murders and things like, because we weren't really experiencing this outside of Pac and Big and Big L. We didn't really have like a lot of rappers dying like that. This is more so happening now, So
this is a newer thing.
This is new, to my point. I think this is more new than any time before.
Facts.
But like I said, I just think once shit hits the fan per se, which it already has. Hopefully, you have high hopes, and that it does change. So,
all right, man. Listen, I'm gonna be insensitive, but I definitely want to move on to the next topic. So, thoughts and prayers out.